today is the 16,000 mile review. 16,000 miles. God. I've done on the wonderful Transalp. Now this is obviously not an original Transalp from the 80s. This is the new breed of Transalp XL750. And very quickly in my youth, before I had my accident, I was on an XL125, I think, when I was with a dispatch rider back then. Had a big accident. Some people say, oh, why are you riding a motorbike now? But anyway, and this, the original of this, 40 years ago, was in my eye. Not actually in my eye, but I had my eye on it, along with a new Vespa. I don't know what that was, but there must be ghosts in it. Anyway, and now I'm lucky enough to own both. But today's not about the Vespa, today's about Transalp. So let's crack on. The engine. What a brilliant piece of engineering that engine is. It's the same as in the Honda 750. It's a parallel twin with 90 brake horsepower, 90 horses to give you a lot of fun when you switch it into sport mode. See the smile. But for everyday use in standard mode, which drops the power down a bit, it powers the Transalp really, really well. In and out of traffic, urban riding, out in the country, blah, blah. But when you want to have a little fun, putting it into sport mode is bliss. It is it just comes alive. You know, it goes from a little bit, so you can feel when you're in standard mode that it's a little bit hemmed in. Not too much, but you know, it's a little bit. But in sport, bang, off we go. And everything seems to sort of kick in. So yeah, it's fantastic. Very little oil usage. You know, top up when as and when needed, which hasn't been often. What else? Water. Hasn't used any much of that. Can't think of what else really. I mean, it just really is a reliable, powerful plant for the Transalp. The exhaust. Now, many people, it's their money, do what they like, but spend a lot of money on new exhausts and then have to get an engine remapped and all that sort of stuff. But I've never felt in any way a need to get any more out of this bike. Now, admittedly, this is an adventure bike, which should, in theory, go on dirt as well as tarmac. But I've only done 16,000 miles on tarmac. So I've no need to squeeze any more power. I've got no need or will, really, to do it. So the basic exhaust gives a good bottom end note. Real good note. They know you're coming. And it can screech if need be, you know. A bit of rev bombing. So I never felt any need to change it, and it's still holding its own, and it's lovely. If an exhaust can be lovely, that is. Now, one of the things that was on this particular bike when I bought it, because this was the demo bike, if you remember, if you go way, way back when I was doing the test ride on this, and I added the 50 miles of the 60 miles that were on it when I bought it, it was fitted with the quick shift. And I've never used a quick shift before, ever. No, you know, it's a pretty new bit of kit. And you don't need it, but you do not miss it when it's not there. It really does make life a lot easier for going up and down gear. You still have to hold first in going off and stopping. You have to hold first. But once you're out of first, up and down the gears is really easy and very quick. A lot quicker than I can do. So yeah, it's, again, as I say, it's not a needed item, but this one's fitted with it, which will become relevant at the end of this video. Now, with all that power and the quick shift and everything else comes back to the rear wheel. And the chain and all this area at the back here, which basically gives you a solid rear planted on the ground and capable of taking all that power and those quick shifts in gears up and down without causing any issues whatsoever. The only trouble I've had with not this tyre but the one beforehand was, if you remember, if you've seen previous videos, go and have a look, was I got rear shunted, and it was felt safer to replace the tyre, which was 8,000 miles. It's on the 8,000, just before the 8,000 mile service. I think I did it, or just after. So this one's got 8,000 on it as well, and there's so much on it. It's got another 10,000 easy on there. So that was the only reason why that was changed. So yeah, keeps me steady, even with all the weight of the luggage and everything else. Nice. If you really do feel planted. Now the front wheel. That tyre has been on it from day one. So it's had 16,000 miles on it for a motorcycle tyre, which 16,000 on a car tyre is neither here or there, but on a motorcycle, 16,000 is a lot. And it's still got 50%. It was recorded at the when I got the service done, second service, it's just come back, as about halfway there. So obviously you won't go all the way, would you? You wouldn't go 100% bald, but unless you're mad. But that's probably got about another 6,000-7,000 miles before we start thinking about changing it. And it's really grippy at the front. You know, you really take every corner. I'll tell you the video to watch is on the test ride. If you go back and have a look, I get to the first roundabout from HGB, so I go up, turn right, go down the hill, turn on that first mini roundabout, and I turn it, and you hear me say, I'm buying this bike, because the grip around that mini roundabout was just phenomenal, and it still is. You know, it really does give a lot of confidence when coupled with another thing that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So yeah, and the brakes on the front just stop you, no problem. There's twin discs at the front there, and they stop you, whatever you're doing, speed or not. You know, they really do hold the grip. So yeah, big bonus, and the fact they're both gold. Who doesn't like gold wheels? Display. Clear, concise, gives everything I need for it. It tells my speed and, you know, all the other bits and pieces I need to know when I need it. I mean, it's just there. You know, it doesn't get in your face. There's no flashy animations going on. It's just clear, concise information, which is all really that you need. Just click, you know, glance down, tell what you're doing, and off you go. The menu's really easy to buzz through, like with the heated grips. Yeah, so just as a little side note, the heated grips and which I'll come on to in a second, and the quick shift are menu items, so you can go into the menu and switch them on or off if you want to, for whatever reason. So yeah, so the display, perfect. I've never had any issue with the display whatsoever. But the seating position, the point of view here is really comfortable, even over long distance. And I've done some 16,000 miles. You don't do that going to Tesco's and back there. Other supermarkets are available. But it's really comfortable, even over many hours of riding. You don't feel like you've been in a workout. Like some bikes make you feel, wrists are hurting and everything else. Not with this, it's just cruising all the way. Really, really nice. I suppose if I did go off-road, I'd be chucking around and all that sort of stuff. But I don't, so it didn't. The seat. Okay, I've mentioned this a couple of times now. The iconic original blue seat is comfortable, nothing wrong with it whatsoever, looks great, sets this bike off. It takes this bike right back to the 80s model. It's the signature, really. But I'm not tall enough by about an inch or so. Make of that what you will. But anyway, so yes, I'm sort of more on my toes when I'm stopping, and sometimes needing to lean over a bit just to make sure I've got at least 1 foot planted. And also with the tours, with the screen that was on it when I bought the bike, which is the tour screen, touring screen, you're up just above it, so you're getting quite a good head blast. I'm 5'10" and a 30-inch inseam, so 5'10", 30-inch inseam. So the touring screen. If you've got the blue seat on, for me at 5'10", I'm sort of just above it too much. I have to sort of duck down a bit to get a clear air when I'm doing speed, 70 mile an hour on the motorway. So I looked into it, and ironically, Honda actually make an official 20mm lower seat. It's black, which is a shame. They could have made that blue as well, but anyway. It's black, and I bought that, and instantly I could get my feet down on the floor, both of them. Amazing how much that makes, just 20mm. And clear air from no other adjustments on the touring windscreen in the front. So 5'10", 5'11" on a good day or in hills, and the 30-inch inseam with the minus 20mm seat. My feet are on the deck, no problem, both of them, if I need to be. Obviously one normally, because you've got one on the brake. And the air just clears it, no problem whatsoever. So, if you had a longer in-leg inseam, you might not need the black seat, and you'd get away with the blue seat. You'd have to pick and choose, really. Which one fits you, but they're both comfortable seats for long distance. So good, wise choice, that one. So heated grips. Well, if you've seen my video, a couple before this one, where I go on about riding in winter, you can ride a bike or a scooter in winter without them. Yep, you can just use normal heated gloves, which I've got. But when you've had them and then you go on a bike without them, a bit like the quick shift, you notice the difference. And that is why I said in my previous video, couple back from this one, is if you're going to do winter riding, cold weather riding, then just get them fitted. Either the add-on ones, the non-official ones, or when you buy the bike, like this one was fitted. Again, it's one of those items that was fitted when I bought it, so they're already there. And they're a godsend. They really are, and they're so warm, especially when you've got the heated gloves as well. So you've got your hand being warm here and from underneath here. So don't even question it. Just go and get heated grips and gloves if you're riding in the winter. So now I'm going to talk about a few things I've added just to make, not that it comes with the bike at all, and it's not part of this review really, but this is what I've added over the 16,000 miles to make my journeys just a bit more user-friendly and comfortable. Quad lock, legendary now. I think most people have them. This one I wired in, and I'll get on to what I wired it into in a minute, which I'll show you on the video. So this is the wired in version that can do charging of the phone, my phone. Just get it here, there we go, see? Got the quad lock on the back there, clip, and it sits in front of the speedometer. Conveniently, ossifer. And I have, and a little side note, someone did ask me about that, why don't I have it to the left or the right and that sort of stuff, I've got it in the middle. It's partly to do with the speed, but so I don't have to edit that anymore. But also, as a sort of safety tip really, if you can load it in the middle, it's more of a job for someone to come over and grab it. So if they've got it here, they can to the side, but if they have to come over your arm and grab it and try and get it off, you've got a chance to. So yeah, so that's what it is for. And that's brilliant. No problems with that whatsoever for all the navigation and the usual stuff that we use these. What I plug it into is one of those Thunderbox sort of power junction boxes. So it takes a positive and a neutral feed. So it takes the feed off the battery into itself and then splits it off. In my case, it's 4 junctions. At the moment, I'm using 2. The second one I'll come on in a minute. And that's great. You know, it makes plugging in really easy. There are any accessories that need voltage, and it comes on when you switch on and goes off when you switch off. So you're never running the battery down, which is pretty cool. And the second thing that's plugged into that, and the important thing, is the Inov K7 cameras. I've got the rear here and the front one at the front, and they're not for creative stuff on YouTube and things. They're purely so that I've got some kind of evidence, if needed, if someone hits me in the rear and I have to change my tyre, which that proved his money's worth. Honestly, I had all the evidence. He wasn't even looking at the zebra crossing. I was at the front of him at the zebra crossing. He wasn't even looking, and he just rolled straight into the back. So, and this proved it, because there and then on my phone I could call up the video and say. So, as a safety item, confidence building item, it's an excellent thing, honestly. And the little box sits under the cowl here at the back, plugged into the Thunderbox, so that comes on when I switch on and it goes off when I switch off, and it records constantly on the card. It's a 512 gigabyte one in there, I think. It just rolls over until you need it. So really good bit of kit, and I can highly recommend that. Luggage. 48 litre top box. That was the Kappa one, which is the other brand to Givy. But for the side panniers, I didn't want, because they're not on all the time, I didn't want hard cases. So I bought the Shad TR40s. So it's 20 litre, and they've got a bag inside as well to keep everything waterproof. And they've proved perfect for this. They look good as far as I'm concerned. They look tidy, easy to take on and off if you want to, and work really well for what luggage does. Top box, perfect for 2 crash hats if you want to, or other bits and pieces. So yeah, if you're doing touring, that sets up perfect. So really, in summary, with this 16,000 review, the bike has held up really well. Nothing has been at fault whatsoever. Well done, Honda. Both services have been minimal, thanks to the guys at HGB. The add-ons I put on weren't because there was a failing in the bike. They were just purely to make, as I said before, to make my riding experience and my confidence with the cameras and everything else better. And it has done. Everything's made everything better and much more nicer to ride. So yeah, 16,000 miles of pure fun. So here comes the question. Why am I selling the Captain? So let's underline this statement. I'm not selling the Captain, the Transalp, because of anything wrong with it. Not at all. And if I could keep it, I would. But I can't. So there is nothing wrong with this bike whatsoever. Okay, Honda have done a fantastic job in recreating an 80s icon for the 2020s. And they've done a blinded job, and I have enjoyed 16,000 miles on the Captain. But change happens, and you don't know why sometimes. But in this case I do. Since Phoenix came along, it's got a leaf on her tyre. Yeah. Since Phoenix came along, my riding life has changed, which doesn't really fit with having a big adventure bike anymore. So I'm sending this back to HGB, where it will be available for you to go and buy if you wish, with all the bits and pieces that I've mentioned in this review video. So that if you do more of an adventure or touring, or just prefer a bigger bike than the scooter, yeah, I, hand on heart, recommend you give HGB a call quick and buy this. So to finish, the Transalp, as I've said a few times, probably too many times now, is a great bike. Honestly, it really is. For Honda to make an excellent homage to the original, which I had my eye on, not in my eye, but my eye on, when I was riding my XL125 as a dispatch rider. Hoping I should have passed my test back then and got one, but I didn't. So when you're young, you're stupid. It has been brilliant, and I'm sure it'll be brilliant for many, many more thousands of miles. As I've said a couple of times already, it'll be available at HGB and Ruislip, link below, probably in about a week or so, because I've still got to go Western-super-Mare on Phoenix. And that's my first scooter run, as it were, of the year, to the Vespa Club of Great Britain, AGM, in Western-super-Mare next Saturday. Saturday the 24th, is it? I can't remember. Anyway. So yeah, get around there. Take it for a test ride. You'll love it. There'll be both seats there as well, so you can try that out. It's just changing the seats, really easy. So you can try both out, see which one you like the best. So everything will be there ready for you to take on board and give him a new home that will be used properly. So on that note, thank you very much for watching, as always. Please do the thumbs up and the subscribe stuff. Really does help. Comment below, if I've missed something, comment below and I will answer. I do read all the comments. And if you are in Western-super-Mare for the Vespa Club of Great Britain AGM and the social in the evening, hope to see you there. Give me a tap on the shoulder, not a double tap. Give me a tap on the shoulder and let's share a beer and enjoy ourselves in Western-super-Mare. Anyway, that's enough. Thank you for watching. Ride safely and safe journeys to you all, as always.